Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about intermittent fasting, specifically how it works, what it is, the pros and cons, and my personal experience and opinion on it. So if that interests you, then you might as well stick around. So let's start with what intermittent fasting even is. So intermittent fasting in itself is an eating style where you eat within a specific set of time and fast for the rest. Now, everybody already does fasting just through sleeping alone. So whether you're sleeping for 4 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, you're still fasting within that time period. But with intermittent fasting, you're just taking that time and extending it and keeping that as a routine. So one of the most popular versions of intermittent fasting is the 16-8, where you're fasting for 16 hours and eating within an 8-hour window. And that is personally what I do and what I find to be the easiest. I fast from 4 p.m. all the way until 8 a.m. So I eat from 8 until 4 in that window. So it works pretty good because after 4, you're just chilling for a little bit and then you sleep like a few hours later. So it's really not that bad because the majority of the time when you're fasting, you're just sleeping anyways. So that's why I find that method to be the easiest way to fast. So that's basically what intermittent fasting just is in a nutshell. Just eating within a specific set of time and then not eating for a larger specific set of time. So now let's get into what is actually happening to your body when you are fasting. So here is the scientific explanation of what is going on when you are fasting. So first we need to start to explain what happens when you eat. So after you eat, you're going to be chewing your food, it's going to go down your esophagus, go down to your stomach, start getting digested. And so once that happens, after all that food gets digested, some of that sugar from that food is going to go into your liver. Now this is important because this is where your body maintains energy and keeps it there for when you need it later. So after your body stores the sugar in your liver, it's just going to chill in there for a little bit. That's kind of where your reserves are, just to keep everything there. So after you go through your fasting period, so not eating for over 10 hours of not eating, those reserves and those energy storages and sugar storages there are going to be very low. So it's like there's not going to be much in there. So once this happens, the fat cells in your bodies are going to travel into your bloodstream and go into the liver where they're converted to energy for your body. So your body is basically taking fat and turning that into energy. Now, this process of burning fat releases chemicals called ketones. Now, once ketones are released, this triggers molecules in the brain called BDNF. Now, once BDNF is released, it helps to build and strengthen neural connections and neurons in the brain. So fasting helps your body and your brain. So it's basically a win-win situation. It's very good. Now, not even to mention that there was a study done on dementia patients who started intermittent fasting and that they saw results within 6 weeks that their dementia was not nearly as bad as it was before. And this is because of the BDNF and how it strengthens in the regions in your brain associated with memory and learning. So that is a very good benefit to fasting. And now that we're on the topic of benefits of fasting, I'm just going to go into explaining a lot of the pros from fasting. So now obviously there's the benefit of weight loss. That's kind of how fasting works, but that is a benefit to fasting. And I found that once I started losing weight, it was very easy for me to start getting muscles getting defined. My abs were looking a lot better since I was also exercising because I had already done ab workouts, but my abs had never looked as good as they had when I was intermittent fasting, which I still do. So now they're still pretty nice. I think they are. So fasting also helps with your overall health in general. It helps your immune functions, enhances insulin sensitivity, which means this can help to prevent type 2 diabetes. So if you have diabetes that's in your family history, or if you've been eating very poorly, fasting will help with that. It also helps with other inflammatory issues like heart disease, and this is very important because most diseases stem from inflammation in the body. So if you can find a way to decrease inflammation, that is very good to prevent any type of serious illness, and that is something that intermittent fasting does. So it's a major health benefit, and that just ties into the overall health benefits of fasting. So just in general, just fasting just helps to prevent disease and just keep you healthy and strong. And just when you're fasting though, just make sure you're not eating a bunch of garbage while you're in that period of eating, because that's not gonna help you. You can't keep eating like ice cream, pizza, and burgers and soda in that 8-hour window and expect to be better. You need to stay eating healthy foods while you're fasting. Because even when you're fasting, there isn't like specific food groups that you have to cut out or you need to be in a caloric deficit. There's none of that when you're fasting, but it's still just important to be eating healthy while you're fasting, because there's just no point to fast if you're not going to be eating correctly. Now, not to mention that intermittent fasting also does help improve sleep. So if you struggle with sleeping like I used to, intermittent fasting really helps you just to sleep better, because your body isn't in the process of digesting food while you're sleeping, depending on what time you quit fasting. But since I quit fasting at 4 and I go to bed like 9, 10, 11 or somewhere around then, my body wasn't using a whole bunch of energy to digest food, so it was a lot easier for me to sleep. I was sleeping a lot better. I wasn't waking up like all the time like I used to. So that is another pro to intermittent fasting that I really enjoyed. There's only a few negatives, I would say, to intermittent fasting, and it's more specifically within the first few days or the first few weeks that you're fasting. You will just find, if you were used to eating all the time and eating really bad foods, just like throughout the day you're just eating nonstop and you're eating a lot of fatty foods, a lot of greasy foods, the first few days, first few weeks that you're going to be fasting, you're going to find that you're going to be very irritable. Basically, you're just going to be hangry all the time because you're not used to not eating, and not eating can make you kind of annoyed. Like, when you're hungry and you're just like, you can kind of feel that way, but it's really just about willpower and how much you want to be fasting. If you want to heal your body of all those illnesses, if you want to lose weight, if you want to get better sleep, if you want to improve memory, if you want to improve your ability to learn and just keep information in, it's just really about the willpower that you have to keep sustaining this lifestyle. Because intermittent fasting I wouldn't even consider it like a diet, because diets, you're just like not allowing yourself to eat a certain type of food or a certain amount of calories, and with intermittent fasting you don't do that. It's so simple. You can eat literally whatever you want within that specific time period. You can eat as much as you want, as little as you want, when you want, just within that time period. But there's no like, you're not allowed to eat this, you're not allowed to eat that. You can have it all when you're fasting. So it's really just about that willpower and how much you want to be doing it. And that is basically some of the only cons that really comes to intermittent fasting itself. You're not restricting yourself from any type of food group or anything like that. It works for everybody. Now, I would say, just as like a disclaimer, if you are already underweight or struggling with an eating disorder, please do not try this. You definitely need to become healthy before you start doing this. So just keep that in mind as like a disclaimer. So don't come for me if like it's not working for you because you're already underweight or you have an eating disorder or something like that. Please don't be doing this. So now we're going to get on to my personal experience and opinion on it. So I have been fasting, I want to say intermittent fasting, for like 2 months, maybe. Like, I'm relatively kind of new to this process, but I have found that just within the first week that I was already getting like shredded abs just from a week of intermittent fasting. And it's not even that hard, because in the morning, for those few hours, depending on what time you get up, like if I start eating at 8 because I quit eating at 4, like if you wake up at 5, you just gotta wait a few hours, or if you wake up at 9, you can already just start eating. Like, it's very easy to do. And that's something that I find, something that I like with intermittent fasting, that it's very easy to do. You know, you don't have to spend all this money to get a huge amount of food. You don't need to spend this money to get a specific type of food. Like, you can just eat whenever you want, and you're not spending a whole bunch of money to be eating all throughout the day, which is also a benefit. If you are on a type of budget, like, you can still be doing this without having to worry about that. Now, another benefit that I found, besides the fact that I just became very toned, very shredded very quickly, is that it really helps me sleep better. You know, like, I would always wake up a lot during the night. I couldn't really sleep well, and if I did sleep, it wasn't good quality sleep. And I found that with intermittent fasting, like, sleep was a lot easier. I fell asleep a lot faster. My quality of sleep, I was just sleeping throughout the whole night and without waking up a lot. Maybe like once if I need to go pee or something, but like not how I was. So that is something that I really enjoy with intermittent fasting. I mean, I just like it. Like, I can just eat whenever I want. Like, there's no, I can't eat this, or I have to eat a certain amount of calories. There's just none of that with fasting. Like, it's very convenient. Like, there's no like prep time, there's no work time. Like, it's just very simple and something very easy to do, and the benefits show very quickly. Like, if you can just get over the first few days or the first few weeks where you're just adjusting to that, the benefits of fasting come very quickly, and you will see them, especially if you are working out. Like, you will see the benefits to fasting very quickly. And it's something that I really like to see, because I was already working out to begin with, but I wasn't fasting, so like, I could see some definition, but it wasn't nearly as much as I would like. And I started fasting, and like 3 days later, I was like, okay, I can see these abs now. And a week later, I was freaking like down. In 7 days, I was like, the definition I had was the most I've had ever in my entire life, just within 7 days of intermittent fasting for 16 hours. Like, it was amazing. Like, I'm still sleeping good. Like, my abs are still shredded. Like, these are just the things that happen. It's just great. Like, especially if you're trying to lose weight, like, it's very easy. It's just really easy to do. Like, you don't have to look at food and see what their calories are, count calories. Like, you know, it's just nothing like that. It's very simple. It's just, you don't eat. Like, it's just, and it's not even that you're starving yourself, because that's not good at all. But it's just that you eat within a certain time, eat whatever you want, and then within that time, then you just don't eat, because you're still eating, so you're not starving yourself, but you're also not eating, so you're allowing yourself to be burning all that fat just by not doing anything. So if you don't have time to work out, or if you don't know how to work out, or if you're just not comfortable doing that yet, all you have to do is just fast, intermittently fast, and you're going to be losing a lot of weight just from that alone. So it's great if you're looking for weight loss and things like that. And I found that I wasn't getting bloated as much as I used to, because I wasn't eating all the time, so my body's actually digesting things, so my gut health was a lot better. It's also a benefit to intermittent fasting. Your gut health is better, since you're not constantly putting your body under like massive amounts of stress by digesting food all the time. You're giving yourself a break, so it's a lot easier to sleep. Hence, you know, that's why you intermittent fast. But so my opinion is that I really enjoy intermittent fasting. I think everyone should at least try it to see how much they like it. Now, obviously, you can fast for more than 16 hours, or you could fast if you're just beginning. You could do it for like 12 hours, 10 hours. But I would really recommend it, because I thoroughly enjoy intermittent fasting. Now, that's basically my experience, my opinion on it, how much I enjoy it. So, if you like this video, please feel free to leave a comment. If you have any questions about it, you can just ask them in the comment sections. But if you like this video, if you like this content, feel free to like or subscribe. That would really help me to make more videos for you guys, and I can go into a more in-depth explanation of like what I eat when I fast, like some tips and tricks if you guys are interested in that. But yet again, thank you for watching, and have a beautiful day.